Hi, I'm Lisa. I'm a qualified naturopath, and do you know, it turns out weight loss is far more complex than you would have ever thought. In our first video, we spoke about what alkalizing is, how to maintain your pH balance, and what effects it has on the body. From that, you can see that alkalizing and your pH is really complex, and it can actually affect quite a lot of chemical reactions within the body. Today, I want to focus on how pH can affect weight loss. It turns out that pH has a two-part effect on your weight loss. So the pH can actually promote weight gain, and also reducing the acid load in your body can actually promote weight loss. The complication is that weight loss actually increases the acid load within the body. So it's really important to understand this catch-22 to promote your weight loss journey. First, let's actually talk about the biochemical process that's occurring within the body while you're trying to lose weight. So the basic concept of weight loss is that we're trying to burn the calories that we haven't consumed. So you eat less, you burn more, and your body is supposed to then draw from other sources to gain that energy that it needs. So what the body does is it turns to its adipose tissue as essentially fat as a form of energy. So the fat cells, called triglycerides, they are released into the blood as free fatty acids. They're transported to the liver where they undergo fatty acid oxidation. So once they're oxidized, they form these things called ketone bodies. And these ketone bodies, they've got some really technical names. So there's acetoacetic acid, and there is beta-hydroxybutyric acid, for instance. The ketone bodies are then released from the liver, and they go into the bloodstream where they provide energy for your tissues, so like your muscles, and also your organs, so important things like the brain. As you can guess from the name of them, their chemical names that is, they're quite acidic. So the release into the blood actually increases the acid load within the body. And that basically sums up how weight loss increases the acid load. The modern Western diet also plays a role. So this, shall I say, bad diet, it actually impacts the acid-base balance by putting us in a constant state of chronic low-grade acidosis. When you combine that acidic effect of your weight loss and your diet together, you can see how you're really putting quite a strain on the body. The chronic low-grade acidosis has actually been shown to increase the stress hormone production of cortisol. The hormone cortisol is actually really well known for its role in weight gain, particularly around your middle. Cortisol also increases the release of insulin, which acts in two ways. It shuts off the fatty acid oxidation, and it also helps to shuttle the blood glucose into the cells. So that means that the body's really trying to protect itself. What it's doing is getting the sugar levels out of the blood into the cells, and what it's doing there is storing it as fat. Where what we want it to be doing is to be using that fat as energy. So this lowered blood sugar level not only increases storage of fats, but it also decreases your available energy, and it also adds to your appetite. So you're craving those energy-dense foods, which is really the exact opposite of what you want to be occurring while you're trying to lose your weight. It's really this kind of signaling which is contributing to that plateau a lot of people find a couple of weeks into extreme dieting. With this form of restrictive dieting, it's likely that you'll first have initial success, and then after you've hit this plateau, it's like everything starts to get harder. You have less energy, your cravings intensify, you're just not losing any weight anymore, or maybe you are, but not enough. And it's often this point where people stop. They just stop the diet altogether. They put back on the weight, and they feel like a failure, like they've got bad willpower or something. The fact is, it wasn't the willpower that was the problem. It's this complex set of metabolic occurrences that are really stacking the deck against you. The exciting news is that by shifting your diet to an alkaline diet and taking an alkaline supplement, you're actually able to help counteract this acid load production. And that really helps your liver. It helps it to keep burning those fatty acids. It protects against those mechanisms that the body is trying to put into place to look after itself, essentially, to decrease its own acid load. So there was even a clinical trial that was carried out to prove this. This trial had 85 overweight participants who were eating a balanced diet, they were exercising, and it was over a 12-week period. And what we found was that the treatment group who were supplementing with the alkalizing minerals, they actually lost a significantly greater amount of weight. In fact, it was almost 50% more weight. So that study is amazing because it shows us how an alkalizing diet and alkalizing minerals and supplements, they can really make a big difference to your weight loss journey. The best thing about an alkalizing diet is that it's essentially a really good diet. It's richer in fruits and vegetables, and especially greens. Those fruits and vegetables come with a heap of other benefits as well. And by switching to an alkalizing diet, you're essentially consuming more vitamins, more minerals, more antioxidants, and a heap more fiber as well. Those things benefit your body in so many ways. They're so important. So exercise does put a lot of stress on the body, and one of the things it does is increase oxidative damage, but those antioxidants in the fruit and vegetables are able to help counteract that free radical damage. So not only are you decreasing the damage, but you're also able to, benefit in other ways, like delaying aging effects, for instance. The vitamin C in the fruit and vegetables, it's great for collagen production. And the fiber is fantastic. So not only does it help your gut to function optimally, promote the great gut microbiota balance, but it also is a form of waste elimination. So that can then help your other organs of elimination, like your skin, to be clearer and healthier, essentially. So this fiber, it's really important because on your weight loss journey, you're trying to restrict your calorie intake, right? Well, fiber keeps you feeling fuller for longer, so therefore you don't need to eat. That's the most simple form of calorie restriction there is. The main thing to remember about an alkaline diet is that you're not only increasing your fruits and vegetables, but you're decreasing your intake of your processed foods, your refined carbs, your meats, your dairies, all of those foods that are essentially causing an acidic load. Whilst those acid-forming foods still have a lot of important nutrients, it's more just the ratio that we're eating it in. So we're just having them and too many of them. So some simple things that you can do to balance your acid-forming diet is to, try having a large serve of vegetables with every meal. Have a couple of meat-free meals a week. You can still have vegetarian sources of protein. Try and get creative, sneak some more greens into your everyday meals. Or even just, an alkalizing supplement. Like that study found, it was enough. It was a great addition to just a generalized healthy diet. And we also thought, a couple of ways to decrease your calorie intake whilst increasing your alkalizing foods is, swapping for zucchini noodles instead of pasta, or using eggplant as your base for a pizza, lettuce as your wraps instead of bread. Replace your chips and your protein bars with a handful of almonds or some veggie sticks with hummus. They're great snacking alternatives that are going to help you with this goal. Just remember, the body's really well adept at maintaining its internal balance. So whilst it can be really annoying, it's not going to let you lose 20 kilos a week. It's got great mechanisms that it's going to trigger to protect itself. If we're going to lose weight, we need to be kind to ourselves. We need to take a low and slow approach, and we need to really look after ourselves during the process. If we don't, that survival mechanism is going to kick in, and it's going to go back to trying to store fat to protect itself. It's going to go back to craving energy-rich foods because it needs that energy to survive. It needs that energy to do its job, and it doesn't like that you're trying to take it away from it. I hope this video has helped you to see how alkalizing can be a really important tool to help you on your weight loss journey. We do want you to achieve the results you deserve.